what you got. Show them how you get up in your bag. Show them that swag. What you see is what you get. When I look in the mirror, I'm looking like a man. Like we playing tag bad, I'm the top pick. Show them what you're working with. Break the circuit, be a hit. Go ahead and make them sit. If you gotta hate it, then your purpose is equipped. Tell them catch you later, cause you serving up some grits. Meaning hot with the drip when I drop in the mix. The proof is in the pudding. Show them how you do it. They do it like they shouldn't. You don't need to brag, cause your competition couldn't. You don't need to boast, cause the proof is in the pudding. Show them that swag. Show them that swag. Show them that swag. Show them that swag. Show them what you got. Show them how you get up in your bag. Show them that swag.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining. For those of you who do not know me, I am Stevie Williams. I am part of the customer success team here at PhotoDay. And today we're going to be talking about boosting your sales with AdvancePay. So if you guys are not selling AdvancePay yet, you're going to get a lot of good information in this webinar about the different ways you can use it. If you are already selling AdvancePay, maybe you'll get some new ideas on ways to use it as well. I've got a ton of good information in here. But overall, if you're coming from a prepay system and you're just getting started with PhotoDay, AdvancePay is a really, really important thing to implement, and it will boost your results. So, all right. So just a little piece of housekeeping before we get started. If you guys have comments, please feel free to leave them in the comment section as we go along. But if you have questions, there is a Q&A section of the chat specifically for questions, and I will get to those at the end of the webinar. Otherwise, I will stop in the middle and go on a tangent, which I love to do because I could talk about AdvancePay all day. But try to put those in the Q&A section so that I don't miss them. And yeah. All right, so let's dive in. So obviously there are a ton of things that you focus on as a business owner, whether it's marketing, picking up new business, getting new equipment, new strategies, things of that nature. But all of those things that you focus on ultimately contribute to generating sales for your business. So PhotoDay has the tools to increase your sales. It's so important that you take the time to learn the features that the solution that you have offers, so that you can create an effective strategy. So at PhotoDay, we have created a ton of tools that volume studios need. We've listened to the feedback of our users and implemented things along the way. And we also have a ton of features that promote sales when you're selling online, which is one of the great things about our platform. One of the reasons why people love using us so much. Now, there are 3 keys to great results when you're selling online. Without these 3 things, if you're missing any one of these, then that could contribute to not great results. You got to have all 3 of them. So starting with great images. First and foremost, you cannot have amazing sales online without sellable images. Your images are your inventory when you're selling online. You need to create current images, beautiful images that are going to get your customers excited. People have the freedom to go in and look at the images in this day and age when you're selling online and choose what they want. Your images are your inventory instead of things like, package B before they ever see images like would be on paper forms. So therefore, you got to have beautiful images. And alongside that, you can also have a variety. So the more images that you offer, the more your customer can potentially spend. Now, on top of that, effective communication is super, super important. Even if you have amazing images, if you don't thoroughly communicate how your customers can find them, they're not going to know where to go to view and purchase them. So you want to be sure that you are sharing information thoroughly in as many different ways as you can. You can start before picture day, which is a great thing about AdvancePay, so that you get people prepped for when you release images. We have a ton of communication tools at PhotoDay that make this a breeze, that are super automatic and hands-off, but you have to learn what all your options are, and create a combination of the tools that is going to work best for your jobs. Like, for example, if you have email addresses, you can use our email marketing. If you're going to see parents in person, you can also have, posters or flyers up. And you can have the organization send something out as well. So, instead of just using emails, you can use a combination of multiple approaches to communicating. But you got to get people into the gallery so that they can see the great images and buy them. That's why communication is so important. Now, offers and incentives, that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today. You have to incentivize purchases when you're selling online. Customers kind of have the ability to purchase in the comfort of their own time and their own space. So you have to give them a call to action to purchase in a timely manner. What's important about incentives as well is that you're giving benefits to those who purchase early or spend more, which is your desired consumer behavior. And over time, people are just going to learn that purchasing early, they're going to get the best deal. Time-based incentives are going to kickstart your sales. So that way you're making sales right out the gate, right when you publish. And then spend-based incentives are going to boost your average order. Okay, so one of the great things about selling online is that you can actually look at data, instead of having a bunch of pieces of paper and not being able to kind of gauge your performance. We are actually able to pull data from PhotoDay that shows us what strategies work best. So here in these graphs, we have average order values for jobs where the same incentive was used. But on the left-hand side, it is the incentive without AdvancePay. And then on the right is using the incentive and attaching it to an AdvancePay purchase. So it is clear that even when you're using the same incentives, because of the way AdvancePay works, your average order is going to be larger when you attach the incentive to AdvancePay. So in the first example, it is no offers. On the left is just standard orders. And then you see there is almost a $10 increase on the average order with AdvancePay. Second example is with free shipping. There was no AdvancePay in the first example, and then attaching AdvancePay or attaching free shipping to the purchase of AdvancePay boosted the average order about $5. And then the last one is a dollar amount offer. So what this shows me is that it's kind of like money spent, money forgotten. People are purchasing those credits in advance. And then once they get into the gallery and place their order, they might have more money to spend. So because they bought that credit in advance, they are adding to their order because they have a little bit more money to spend. So all that being said, AdvancePay is PhotoDay's solution to prepay. Since your customers have the freedom to order their images online, AdvancePay is a way to get your customers committed to purchasing once pictures are ready. There are tons of different ways to use it. I'm going to be going over some of those ways today. And it's really just going to depend on the organizations and jobs that you work with. One strategy might work well for some of your jobs, and one strategy might work well with others. So, yeah. Now, before we get into how talking about why you should sell AdvancePay, number one, buyer qualification. So you are able to qualify your customers as buyers when you're selling AdvancePay credits. The customers who buy are going, they are the locked in customers. They are going to have orders placed once images are ready. That is helpful as opposed to just shooting, all of the entire organization and then, putting images up and getting those orders starting when images are ready. You can qualify your buyers early and kind of get an idea of what part of your sales are going to look like based on who buys AdvancePay. It also gets people engaged with the online gallery, which is super, super important. They're going to go through account creation just to see the AdvancePay choices. You can also show your pricing in AdvancePay mode if you turn that setting on. And even if they don't buy, they are creating an account and they have the chance to opt into text at that point too. So it's a great way to get people engaged with the online gallery before pictures are ready. You're also able to kind of estimate your revenue. So it's going to allow you to visualize the basis of what your sales are going to be. The people who chose to participate in AdvancePay are most of the time your best customers, the customers who are going to, come in and purchase immediately. And most of them are going to purchase over the credit amount. So, if you sell X amount of AdvancePay credits, it's a great way to see, okay, I'm going to, at least hopefully double that, right? You're also able to make money up front. If you're hesitant to go online because you're used to the instant cash flow, the instant money that comes in from, paper forms or an all prepay solution, AdvancePay is going to be the answer for that. So of course you have employees, travel costs, whatever that might be, for the shoot itself. If you're selling AdvancePay, you get a little bit of money to work with to pay those things off in advance. Which is really beneficial. It is definitely going to increase participation, I think partially because of getting people engaged with the online gallery in advance, getting them to create accounts. It gives a call to action in general prior to picture day. So it is going to encourage engagement and hopefully get people opted in before pictures are ready. It's going to get them to go into the online gallery, which is going to get them familiar with where they'll actually go to purchase photos when they're ready. And then it results in higher gross revenue. So like I said, money spent, money forgotten. The data in the previous slide is a great example, but it is proven by the data that jobs where AdvancePay is sold gross more. It's kind of like if you get a gift card, like I might get a gift card to Target, it's $50. That's awesome. It kind of feels like a coupon to me. I go in to Target and I'm like, I spend double that. It's girl math. So, if they buy a credit 2 weeks in advance and then pictures are ready a week after the shoot date, then they probably got paid again by then, and they will spend even more. Okay, so getting into the different ways that AdvancePay can be used. For those of you who are coming from a prepay workflow to PhotoDay, again, it's very important to implement AdvancePay so that you're not kind of missing the cash flow aspect of things. So instead of each person needing a paper form in order to be photographed, you can use AdvancePay and check for an AdvancePay purchase for each person that you're going to photograph. So this is a great way to maintain the, must be paid for to be photographed vibe, while also allowing your customers to view the images and purchase and pick out what they want after they see the photos and before the order is placed. So if you do not want to spend time photographing every single person, which can sometimes be the best way to go, you can replace prepay with AdvancePay completely. Now, tying on to that same sort of topic would be a session fee. So along those same lines, you can use AdvancePay kind of as a session deposit so that you can make sure that the purchase is secured for each person that you're going to photograph. So in this example, you can actually you can have up to 4 credit amounts. So, for instance, if you're photographing dance and there's multiple costumes with a lot of these dancers, you can do the lowest credit amount being for 1 costume photographed only. And then the second amount being for 2 to 3 and scaling up. So that way you can, keep track of the amount of commitment that each customer is making. So this is good with, multiple costumes for dance or outfits for senior sessions, things of that nature. I hear a lot from dance photographers specifically that, you don't want to edit all the images and take the time to do all those different complex poses without knowing that the customer is going to purchase, all of those different costumes and all those different poses. So this is a great way to protect yourself from that. You can use the description for each credit amount, which I'll show you guys in a live demo in a bit, to explain what each credit amount is intended for. And then if you're using private galleries, you can actually see the amount that is purchased for each subject next to their name when you're checking them in Capture. So that can make the flow of like checking, what amount or how many costumes you should be photographing for each subject. That'll make it easy to track, because you do need to track that on your end at the shoot. Now, I love this idea of fundraising. So a lot of people are used to giving a percentage back to the organization. You can actually use AdvancePay sales as the amount that you're taking the percentage out of. So this makes that commission or the kickback that you're giving to organizations way more beneficial to you as a photographer. So it's going to encourage the organization to push out that AdvancePay marketing. It's going to encourage your customers to participate and give back to the organization. And it's also beneficial, so you don't have to like wait 30 days worth of sales and then calculate the percentage at that point. You're able to kind of wrap that whole process up as soon as you publish images. So for those of you who struggle getting the organization to send out communication for AdvancePay ahead of time, or for your galleries, this is a great motivator to get their cooperation. And you'll see on the little example I have here on this slide, it kind of spells out that it is a fundraiser and that $5 is going back for every $25 credit purchase that's made. You'll just want to explain that in your marketing beforehand. And yeah, I think that's a really, really great idea for those of you who are giving a percentage back. All right, speculation. So this is probably the most popular way to sell AdvancePay right now, and it's kind of how it's designed inside the platform. So this makes the purchase of AdvancePay optional, but it's going to give an offer incentive so that those who buy a credit will get a benefit for doing so. It's a really good way to leave the potential open, so that way you're not only photographing those who purchase, you're also photographing people whose parents forgot, or, in bigger league situations, this might be way easier than keeping track of every single person and not singling out certain people. It leaves your potential open, really. But then you also get a percentage of purchasers beforehand, which is nice as well. And then it promotes your desired customer behavior. You want people to purchase beforehand. You want people to be on point and buying as early as they possibly can. And you're rewarding them for doing so. So the way it works is you attach an offer code to the settings of AdvancePay, which I'll show in the demo. And that is going to be given automatically to everybody who purchased a credit once they go to place their order. Now, and there's a little piece of marketing. We offer a ton of marketing tools to get this information out to your customers. And the automatic marketing that PhotoDay has is really designed for this use case. So if you were doing one of the other ones, like requiring an AdvancePay credit purchase, that would involve you kind of explaining further. But if you are using this method of speculation, then you just attach the offer code, you attach the credit sheet, and which determines the amount of credits they can buy. And then the communication is kind of taken care of for you. I will show all that good stuff. But let's talk about the types of incentives you can attach as AdvancePay offers. So there are two different types of offers, really three that you can attach to AdvancePay: free shipping, and then a dollar amount or percentage off. So you can have up to 4 credit amounts on your credit sheet, which I'll show in the demo, but you can only have one offer code. So I do like to mention this. If you are doing AdvancePay on speculation, you're photographing everybody, but people can purchase a credit and get a benefit for doing so. Sometimes I recommend just doing one credit amount. So that way you can directly correlate the offer and the minimum order amount that needs to be reached in order to apply the offer to the credit amount that they're purchasing. But that's totally up to you. Some photographers like to offer 4 credit amounts. So that way, if people want to spend more, they can, even though they get the offer if they buy the lowest credit amount. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, I would say free shipping is one of the more popular options when it comes to AdvancePay offers. It definitely helps if you're converting from paper to online, or if you're, trying to switch from a bulk shipping scenario to a drop shipping scenario, if your customers are not used to paying for shipping on their order, you can use AdvancePay and free shipping as the AdvancePay offer, and let everybody know if they want to save on the shipping charge, they should just go ahead and purchase an AB credit. And also I would say that's just a really popular online offer code. I know personally, if I'm shopping online and I see that there's free shipping on $50 or more, even if I'm spending $35 on the one product I want, I will probably add something else just to hit free shipping. Something about that is super satisfying for online shoppers. So that is super, super popular. You can also do a percentage or a dollar amount off. So you could do 10% off or, $5 off. The good thing about a dollar amount off or a free shipping offer is that you're kind of able to keep track of the amount that you are giving. With a percentage, could potentially scale up. So you can't get a gauge on exactly what you're taking out of your margins, for each credit sold. But that's totally up to you, because that's also, a percentage off is great because it encourages people to spend more and more. Okay, guys. Hey, Shelly. Thanks for coming. Sorry, I promised I wouldn't read the comments, but I can't help it. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to go through setting up AdvancePay so you guys can see it in action. Give me 1 second. Okay, let me change the size of my windows. Sorry, guys. I keep my text super small so that I can see everything on one page. But then when I'm sharing my screen, people are squinting. Sorry. Hopefully you guys can see that all right. So today I'm going to be going over setting up AdvancePay. I'm going to be doing it for this public job. I've already built the job so that you guys don't have to sit through that part of setup. So let's jump into that. So I'm in a baseball job. It is a public job. And I am on step 2, which is setting up the storefront. And here's where you're going to attach your AdvancePay credit settings. And you can also attach your price sheet. So first things first, you will have to attach a credit sheet. And this is just going to determine the amounts that your customers can choose from. You can get into creating your credit sheets by clicking this blue hyperlink, or you can also go to the store tab under AdvancePay, which is where I'll go today. Now I just want to show you guys the potential. Here's a dance credits example, where, the higher the credit amount, the more costumes they get photographed in or whatever. So in this example, I have 4 credit amounts. And then you're able to add a description to the credit that they'll see at checkout, which is nice. So that is that. Now I'm going to just do 1 credit amount and 1 AdvancePay offer. So let's set up a credit sheet. I'll do volume sports credits. Now this credit sheet name is really just for your reference. So if you are kind of stumped on what to name it, just name it something that you'll remember, I use this for all my youth sports or whatever. It's not visible to the customer. But here are the 4 cards where you can put your potential AdvancePay amounts. Now, when pricing AdvancePay, I would say, visualize what your average order is. Maybe not on PhotoDay, because sometimes people's average order can get up there. Or maybe you can use your PhotoDay average order, but I would say, maybe on the low end of your average order, an amount that is substantial, but that your customers can look at and be like, okay, I'll definitely spend $35 or $40 on pictures, an amount that people are used to spending so that it doesn't scare people away from participating, is kind of my thought process. And then I'll add a description so that you guys can see how that looks. Purchase a credit and get free shipping on. Now, you don't have to add the offer details in here. It's kind of redundant because our system does show all that, but just so you guys can see an example, And then I'll add a second one. Let's just do 60. I won't put a description. It's fine. But just so you guys can see the multiple amounts. So I have $40 credit and a $60 credit. Now I'm going to go back into the job and I'll attach that in the settings. I'm under settings under store. You can also get to it from this step-by-step in the dashboard as well. So 2 different places you can go. All right. So next is setting up your AdvancePay offer. You will create an offer code and then attach it to AdvancePay settings. And that's going to make it so the offer is communicated when you send out all your AdvancePay stuff. It's going to be communicated in the cart as well. Now you can click this blue hyperlink or you can go under store, under offers. I think I'll do a free shipping offer today since it's most popular. Just so you guys know, when you create offers under this offer section, and you don't attach them anywhere, they can be used if you just share the code. So, just creating an offer, you don't have to attach it anywhere in the job settings. But if you want it to be the AdvancePay offer, then you'll need to attach it in the AdvancePay settings. Hopefully that makes sense. Now to create this offer, I'm going to do volume sports, free ship AP. Again, this is only seen by you. As far as the offer code goes, so the offer itself will actually automatically be applied to the order if your customer has the AdvancePay credit amount in their customer account. So they are not going to have to type this in or interact with it. That's why I think it's easiest to just generate, because it doesn't have to be unique across your PhotoDay account. So I think it's easy to generate them. That way you don't have to come up with a new idea every time you make a new offer. Now, a couple other things I find important: minimum order dollar amount. So I would recommend setting this for your AP offer. That is because you want them to have to use their whole AdvancePay credit in order to get the offer. If they bought a $40 credit and then you don't set this, and then they, just buy one memory mate, and then, they're like, they put the free shipping on it, then you haven't really protected yourself, and then they can ask for a partial refund, whatever. Probably they won't do that, but just a good way to protect yourself. Now, as far as offer expiration goes, the way AdvancePay offers works is, so when you set your job to AdvancePay mode, that means that credits are purchasable, and therefore anybody who purchases the credit is going to, get the offer once pictures are ready. That being said, while, when you switch the job from AdvancePay to published, it might seem like you want to expire the offer at that point, but you won't want to, because people are not going to start using it, start redeeming the offer until you actually publish the job. So that being said, I would not expire your AdvancePay credit offer. Or if you do, I would at least set it out at least, 30 days, 45 days out from the day that you publish the job. So that way the people who bought the credit can actually use the offer that they are, given. Now, max redemptions, that's going to mean that, so if I set this at 10, that means that once 10 people use the offer, it's no longer valid. So I wouldn't set that either. Okay. Created my offer. Now I'm going to go back to the job and attach my credit sheet and attach my AdvancePay offer. Now, 2 other things down here: customer data. So that is going to require your customer to add their name when they go to purchase a credit. This can be especially helpful when you are using public galleries. With private galleries, you'll kind of be able to, people have to go into their individual private gallery to purchase a credit. So this isn't as important, or, it can still be useful. But if you want to collect the name, you can turn this on. Now, Preview Storefront is going to allow your customers to see your pricing when the job's in AdvancePay mode. A lot of people love this, especially if you have customers that come to you beforehand or organizations who, want you to share your pricing with the league so they can send it out in advance. You can just direct them into the gallery that's in AdvancePay mode to allow them to see the pricing if you use AdvancePay. So that's really nice. But you do have to add a price sheet. So I'm going to do that. Let's just do, let's see. I'm doing sports with a photo. Okay, cool. So I got my pricing attached, got my product theme, and then I'm going to go back in here and turn on Preview Storefront. Okay, so, if you are sending out information about AdvancePay, number one, we have automatic campaigns. So we have an AdvancePay series that'll go out if you're using private galleries and you have emails in the data. If you have this turned on and then you switch your job to AdvancePay mode, that's going to send emails out to everybody, letting them know that, picture day is coming soon and they should buy a credit and get X amount when they place their order. If you set your job to AdvancePay and then you start getting opt-ins, like, if you're doing a public gallery and you're sharing the gallery access code with everybody, if you have your job set to AdvancePay and they text the access code, it's immediately going to shoot them a text back that says, purchase a credit, and it'll explain the offer as well. So you'll want to go ahead and set your job to AdvancePay mode once you set it up, and before you kind of send out information to everybody so that they can go right in and just jump into the purchase of AdvancePay. Now, this pop-up here is just explaining that it's going to send text to everybody who's opted in. It will send emails to those in your data if you're using private galleries. And then I am just going to show you guys what AdvancePay looks like to the customer in the gallery. So I am using public galleries. Therefore, there is a gallery link in the settings. Oops, sorry, guys. So I'm going to jump into that. Now, a step it skipped, which is kind of part of the benefit of AdvancePay. I'm already logged in as a customer. So it will show the first thing it's going to ask is for the customer to enter their phone number and then enter a verification code. That is going to log them into their customer account. They can use email if they prefer, but that's going to be where their AdvancePay balance is stored, where all the galleries they visit are stored and all the orders they place. So they have to do that before they get to this step. And then here's this little checkbox that is automatically clicked that will subscribe them to text alerts. So not only are you going to potentially sell a credit to them, but even if they exit the gallery without purchasing a credit, they will they'll be locked into text, which is your ultimate goal when you're using PhotoDay, is getting those text opt-ins. I am not going to opt in because I get so many sample gallery texts on my number personally. So sorry about that. But here you'll see it explains AdvancePay. So it says prepay with AdvancePay, get free shipping on orders of $40 or more when you buy a credit. You buy a credit now, and that's going to apply to your order when pictures are ready. And then it will also display as a banner up here. And then they just select their credit amount. So here are the amounts I am offering. And then here's where that description displays. And here's where it asks them to enter the subject name. So they can up the quantity if they want. Now, it also will allow them to preview the storefront. So here it's going to show them your pricing and what they can expect when pictures are ready and they actually go to use their credit. And I think the benefit to this as well is allowing your customers to see okay, am I actually going to spend $40 on pictures or whatever? Then they'll be able to see your packages and figure that they will use that whole credit amount. So I think this is really beneficial if it works for you. And that is that. So I think that is my screen shared journey for you guys. Let's jump back into slides. I felt like I was going fast, but I don't think I am, because I could just talk all day about what to do to set up AdvancePay. I'm so serious. All right, guys. So as far as AdvancePay payouts, I would say this is a common question. If people just jump right into AdvancePay and they don't take the time to read all of the resources and stuff or ask the questions they need to beforehand, is how to payouts work. So it's really important to know that you're going to get paid out for half of the AdvancePay purchases payout at the time that the credit is purchased. So when you're selling credits 2 weeks in advance and you sell a $40 credit, you're going to get half of the payout for that credit at that time. The other 50% is going to be held until the customer places their order. That is because we don't hold any payment information for you, the studio. So we need funds to cover the lab costs and cover, the fees that are associated with the order when the customer places it. So important to note. Now, we have a ton of other incentive options when it comes to PhotoDay, both gallery promos and custom promos. If you guys aren't giving incentives in general, you should look at these as well, just aside from just AdvancePay. Now, I do always have to shout out my other webinar about creating a strategy for selling online. I don't know exactly what it's called, if somebody wants to link it in the chat. But you need to look at all the options for incentivizing the purchase, incentivizing purchases online, and create a plan so that offers don't overlap. If you're doing AdvancePay and doing a regular offer or whatever, so that it makes sense, so that you're giving, AdvancePay purchasers the best offer possible. And just so that you can create an effective strategy that kind of leads people through, gives people benefits the earlier they purchase, and then you can expire your best pricing or, expire the gallery for those who waited to purchase. So these are some other options for incentivizing. Starting off with gallery promos. So you can actually attach an offer code to your job settings, and that will display the offer as a banner. And it's also going to include it in the email and text communications that send out for your job. So for instance, if you want to give a offer for the first week, people get free shipping for the first week that the gallery is published, you can use gallery promos for this. And we take care of the communication part of informing your customers about the offer. So this is a really, really good way to get people to go into the gallery and purchase in the first few days that pictures are available. It's also a good way to promote higher orders if you want to kind of boost your customers up to your biggest package or whatever. So you can do a speed-based incentive. You can attach an offer, an expiration to the offer. And that's going to actually communicate to them in the automatic communications that go out. It'll say they have until X date, whatever you set in the offers settings. So that's a really good way to, light a fire under people without you having to go in and remind over and over again. We take care of it for you. But yeah, so it'll pop up. It will show as a eligible offer when they're putting together their order. So they'll actually be able to see hey, if I add $5 more, I can get the free shipping or whatever, kind of like it does in other online carts, which I find to be very enticing. I always add more stuff to my cart for free shipping. So now, as far as the types of offers, we break it down into two different types: speed-based incentives and spend-based incentives. So speed-based incentives are obviously going to encourage your customer to order quickly. You can do things like offer expiration, the offer expires after the first week. Also, a gallery expiration would be considered a speed-based incentive. So, expiring the gallery after 35 days or whatever. Those are both super effective ways to get people in and ordering. Obviously, like I said a couple of times, people can order when they feel like it, which is amazing. And, hopefully that encourages them to place an amazing, huge order. But you kind of got to remind them that they should go ahead and place their order ASAP. So now I showed you guys the max redemptions option when you're in the settings of the offer. You can set, for instance, in this friendly competition example, you can set the number 20 in there. And then our system is going to explain the first 20 customers get $10 off. So that encourages people to go in and use the offer before someone else can. And then AdvancePay is definitely a speed-based incentive. Go ahead and make the commitment in advance and you'll get free shipping or 10% off and free shipping or whatever you might set for doing so. Now, there's also spend-based incentives. So, spend $100, get $10, or spend $100, get 20% off. And then offering a variety of images is also an example of a spend-based incentive. They might see 6 different photos of their kid and they can't pick just one. So that's going to encourage them to spend more, kind of tug at their heartstrings. So definitely make sure you're implementing multiple looks per subject if you can. Now, as far as custom promos go, so we do have automatic text marketing that goes out for jobs. Text marketing is my favorite. I think it's a very, very effective way to communicate to your customers, and it is the coolest marketing feature that PhotoDay offers, in my opinion. And we've worked out the automatic series and the frequency to kind of keep things, not that many reminders, but time just right to get people in there and ordering. Now, on top of that, you can actually request custom promos that will be on top of the automatic reminders that we have for the job to advertise things like a sale or like a raising of prices or a fundraiser. So I have all those laid out here, starting off with the fundraiser series. So if you guys are giving a percentage back to the organization, you can use the fundraiser text series to kind of incentivize them to go in and place their order before the fundraiser timeline is over. So you go into the settings and you can set the date that it's the last day for the fundraiser and have text reminders go out to your customers to remind them to place their order before that is over. Now we also have the best price series. So I kind of mentioned this sort of thing when I'm talking about putting together your strategy. So for instance, you can sell AdvancePay in the beginning, which encourages people to purchase early. And then you can use the best price series to let people know that you're going up on your prices. So after maybe the first 2 weeks or so, you can let them know that there's just one more week and then you're going to bump it up and you can just switch to a new price sheet. So, you reward early purchasers, and then for those who wait, you kind of show them why they shouldn't wait next time. But best price series is a great way to incentivize without, trying to give a bunch of different offers throughout, after you publish. Now, there's also an additional photos added text. So if you, photograph everybody for team and individual photos, and then you do some, special senior banner photos later on, you can actually request a custom promo to go out that says more photos have been added to the gallery. That is super useful for a lot of people. There's also the flash sale text. So you can attach an offer code to this text and send out an offer code for one day only. And then it will actually describe the offer based on what settings you have in the offer. If you want to do like Black Friday or, Mother's Day sale, you can make an offer code that speaks to that holiday and then use that for special times. And then we also have the 48-hour free social sharing download. This is a little PhotoDay hack. So you can request this custom promo. It says that there is 48 hours only, and if they buy a package, there will be a free social sharing download in that. Now, to do this, you need to have a social sharing download in each one of your packages. Usually people will have a special version of their price sheet that has social sharing downloads in each package. And then after the 48 hours is over, they go in and manually switch back to their regular. So this is another great way to incentivize a package purchase without giving a dollar amount offer. And here is the window where custom promos can be set up. If you guys haven't explored this, and you're still trying to put together your strategy, I would review all the options and see which ones will work best for your organizations, because they can be super helpful with creating a sense of urgency. Okay, guys. Now let me check into questions before we get to the end. Let's see. Okay, so how does showing your prices with the AdvancePay sign-up process affect sales? I would say that, it's mostly beneficial, if you choose an AdvancePay credit amount that kind of makes sense with your pricing, then it's probably just going to encourage people to go ahead and buy the credit because they can see spending that amount once pictures are ready. I know for some photographers, may not do it just, I'm not sure why, it's just a personal preference. So if you don't want to, I don't think we have actual data that shows, which would be very interesting. But I do know a lot of photographers have people asking, to see prices, or, if you sell AdvancePay, that might prompt a question of, well, what can we buy once pictures are ready? So I think that kind of prevents customer service inquiries, if anything. All right. Are AdvancePay credits transferable to another job? So whenever a customer goes in to purchase a credit, it is going to allow them to see the AdvancePay credit policy. And that policy is going to state that the credit is active for 14 months. So as long as it is within 14 months, credits that are purchased in any job from your studio's account can be used in any of the jobs. So specifically, if you did a dance school this summer, a parent bought an AP purchase, they didn't end up using it, and then you're doing a separate job for holiday portraits in December, yes, they'll be able to use that amount as long as it's within the 14-month time period. Okay, and then can you have multiple types of offers? Okay, so say you have bulk and drop shipping, you have a speed incentive while bulk shipping is open, and then you have a spend-based incentive after bulk shipping is closed. Yes, you can. Now, remember with AdvancePay, there's only one offer able to be used. So, I think that for AdvancePay, maybe it would be smart to use an offer that sort of works with bulk shipping. If you drop shipping may not free shipping might not completely make sense if you're doing mostly bulk shipping. So maybe doing a dollar amount or percentage off. Now you can't change the AdvancePay offer, or it really doesn't make sense to do that. But you could do gallery promotions that sort of change. My recommendation would be, no matter what, to just give the best offer to your customers that purchase early. So if you were going to implement like a spend-based incentive after, the first 2 weeks or whatever, where, okay, if they spend $100, they get X amount off, I think that would be beneficial. That way, they're not getting anything crazy, but if they buy, a big order, then they're still encouraged to spend more. So, yes, I think that's a great idea. Again, check out our marketing strategy webinar, because I really go over that sort of thing in that webinar. And if you guys have questions or you want to go over how AdvancePay works best for you, for the jobs that you're doing, you can always reach out to us in the support chat, in the bubble. We have a ton of knowledgeable people in there that love to help. It's not just yes or no questions or answers. It's, we really use our experience to advise. And then we have a team of CSMs like me who will get on a phone call with you and talk about how PhotoDay will work best. So please utilize that if you have not already. But we only get paid when you guys get paid. So we are directly committed to y'all's success. So here are the costs of PhotoDay spelled out. And then the great thing about this is that included are all of our marketing features, our workflow solutions, and so much more, as well as our team that you can use as a resource to get your plan together. So definitely do that if you guys have not already. Hopefully I see some of y'all in the bubble or in the support chat soon. But Otherwise, I will see y'all on the next webinar. Thanks.